Weather here in Foxborough, 56 degrees, expected to hit the low 60s as we get into the meat of this game. Great day for football. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. The Buffalo Bills at 3-5. The New England Patriots are 5-3. Buffalo coming off a 21-9 loss in Houston last week. They trailed the Texans 7-6 at halftime, and then Houston controlled the second half. Chan Gailey, now in his third year as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, his message to the team against New England: finish. He said the Bills beat the Patriots 2 games ago. They had a 21-point lead and blew it. Last meeting, they led by 14 and allowed New England to come back to win. Bill Belichick, head coach of the New England Patriots, now in his 13th year. And the Pats are 9-3 after the bye under Belichick. Before last season, they had won 8 straight games following their bye week. Last time they played was Week 8. And they destroyed St. Louis in London 45-7.
And because this is a divisional game, a win today by Buffalo would put them just 1 game behind the Patriots. That's how big it is for Buffalo.
New England won the toss. They deferred to the second half. We're underway at Gillette Stadium. Gostowski kicks it off, and it'll be a touchback for Buffalo. Ryan Fitzpatrick attended college not far from here at Harvard, and he leads the Bills offense onto the field.
And he likes his chances throwing against this porous pass defense of the Patriots, especially throwing deep, and especially getting the ball to Donald Jones today. Look for the Bills to use play-action passes on first and second down to get Jones free in the secondary.
New England Patriots come in 28th against the pass, allowing 281 yards per game. A 3-receiver set with Johnson, Jones, and Graham to open up. First down for Buffalo at the 20-yard line. Jackson in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Fitzpatrick steps up. Fitzpatrick runs and slides just across the 25-yard line. They'll mark it just short of the 26. 6-yard gain. Take a look at the offensive line for Buffalo. Eric Piers has been put on injured reserve, so it's Chris Hairston's job, second-year pro out of Clemson, on the right side of that offensive line. Backs and receivers, C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson, the 1-2 punch. But Stevie Johnson is very capable, and he and Fitzpatrick have developed that chemistry. It started back when they were both on the scout team, just trying to make a name for themselves in the league. Handoff. Jackson up the middle for 5 yards. And that's across the 30 and a first down. Defensively for the New England Patriots, the versatile Rob Ninkovich continues to make plays week in and week out for Bill Belichick's squad. Linebackers, Hightower, Spikes, and Mayo. That's an impressive group on the second level of that defense. And in the secondary, it is McCourty playing safety. No Patrick Chung once again. Chung sitting this one out with a shoulder injury. Brad Smith is in the backfield, but it is Fitzpatrick. On a give, Jackson looking for a hole and not much there. Brandon Spikes first man to greet him. It's a 2-yard gain.
Patriots have been excellent against the rush so far this season. Just giving up 88 yards per game on the ground. That's 4th best in the NFL. But Buffalo coming out with 3 straight runs, although the first play was a Fitzpatrick scramble. And that's really the hidden dimension in this offense, is his ability to get out of the pocket quickly and pick up yardage, as he did on the first play.
Have to go back to 2000, the last time Buffalo has won in Foxborough. Divisional games have been a big struggle for the Buffalo Bills of late. They've allowed 149 points last 3 games in the AFC East. Fitzpatrick fires to Stevie Johnson. And Johnson with a clean catch out across the 40-yard line, just short of a first down. Alfonso Dennard, the rookie out of Nebraska, back in coverage.
A real good, sharp hook route by Johnson, but a little bit shy of what the yardage he needed to pick up the first down. He came up about a half a yard shy. We'll see if that hurts the Bills here on this first third down conversion try.
Johnson told us in the first meeting New England was doubling him a lot, and they always seem to give you a different look in the second half. Flags come down.
Looked like Lee Smith jumped off sides, the tight end on the near side of the line.
Hurt. Number 85 up there. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And that's how critical that Stevie Johnson, not getting the first down on the previous play. A third down and short. Watch Lee Smith here. He'll jump early as you see Wilfork jumping inside, not offsides. He moved laterally, and that drew the attention of Smith, who jumped offsides.
The referee today is Bill Levy and his crew. It turns a 3rd and 1 into a 3rd and 6. 4 receiver set. Johnson the motion man. Play clock down to 1. Fitzpatrick out of the gun. Pumps. Dump off. Jackson makes a cut, and he's got a first down. 13-yard pickup and a penalty marker thrown back at the 26-yard line. This one's coming back.
Holding. Number 77 offense. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And that's the rookie out of Georgia, Cordy Glenn, starting at left tackle.
And going up against another rookie, Chandler Jones. We talked about the 6 sacks that he has. Watch it on the pass rush. And watch how Cordy Glenn is going to reach out, grab him, and hold him, and pull him right down in front, or almost down, right in front of the officials.
So back it up to a 3rd and 16 now. 5 receiver set and a dime package for New England.
And that penalty wiped out a first down. And now another penalty. Greg Urbick jumping offsides.
False start. Number 60 offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Jermaine Cunningham was coming on the rush. Urbick on that right side. 3rd round pick back in 2009 of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the offensive line having some trouble on this first series. 3rd penalty against Buffalo.
And they're back to where they started at the 20-yard line on this drive.
3rd and 21. They'll go conservative with Jackson. And Jackson bottled up short of the 30-yard line. Buffalo will punt. Dante Hightower will get credit for the stop for New England. A 9-yard gain for Jackson.
Yeah, very promising series of plays for the Bills. So they self-destruct with 2 offsides penalties and a holding penalty. They had the ball near midfield before they decided to go backwards.
Sean Powell will punt it for Buffalo. And Julian Edelman is the deep man for New England in his 4th year out of Kent State, averaging 8.8 yards per return. Powell with a high kick. Edelman stays put. Brings it in cleanly at the 21. And Edelman driven backwards as he crossed the 25-yard line. A 50-yard punt. Tom Brady, 19-2 in his career against Buffalo. We'll see the Patriots offense when we come back. Well, we asked Ryan Fitzpatrick about the AFC East right now. He said, look, a win would be a huge boost for morale. And, of course, it is a divisional matchup. Buffalo, a team that had very high expectations coming into the year. They're 3-5. First play from scrimmage for New England, and it's Stephen Ridley with the juke move, picking up 3.5 yards. Mario Williams with the stop, and Tom Brady, his numbers just off the charts once again.
Yeah, when I asked him yesterday what he still needs to improve on, he said, he paused actually for a few seconds and gave the pat answer about working on his mechanics. But he did admit that he feels like he's on top of his game, and I couldn't agree more.
Brian Scott is out there defensively along with Justin Rogers. Knocked up in the air! Almost intercepted by Scott. Scott, who's been a hybrid safety linebacker throughout his career with Atlanta, New Orleans, and Buffalo, and that would have been huge for Buffalo in this first quarter.
Well, he's proven why he's playing defense, because he can't catch. Ball tipped up in the air, and Scott will never have an easier shot at an interception. Marcel Darius gets his hand on it, and then Scott lets it go through his hands.
So instead of Buffalo having the football, New England's got a chance to convert on a 3rd and 6. Brady in the pocket, fires in traffic. It's caught by Welker, short of the 40-yard line, but it is enough for a first down.
Of course it's enough for a first down. That's all Welker does, it seems, is catch 3rd down passes over the middle. And again, the Patriots avoid a 3-and-out. Best team in the league at doing just that.
New England's going to move with a lot of speed and pace on offense. That's what they do. Ridley, running lane for Ridley, and he's caught from behind. Short of the 50-yard line, it's a 10-yard gain. Their starting offense, Solder, Mankins, Wendell, Connolly, and Volmer. And the backs and receivers just talented group that Tom Brady is capable of elevating their game. Well, didn't give him the 10 yards. They gave him 9, marked him down short of the 50-yard line, so a 2nd and 1. But he's going to get it right here. Ridley again. Defensively for Buffalo, big challenge today against this #1 ranked offense. Moore is getting the start. Mark Anderson is out, and Chris Kelsey is out for Buffalo. Barnett, Shepard, and Bradham, the linebackers. And secondary, a tall order today against Brady. Underneath, Brandon Lloyd. First down across the 40-yard line.
Lloyd only had 3 catches in their first meeting, and working against the rookie Stephen Gilmore. Gilmore did a good job on him in that first game, but this was a good slant route by Lloyd. He got inside the corner, and Brady was right on target.
Brady working out of the gun. New set of downs to work with in Buffalo territory. Brady again underneath. Deion Branch this time spins for 5. Justin Rogers there defensively for Buffalo.
You would think as you handicap this game with all the yards the Bills have given up that Brady would have a big day. He's going against the 31st ranked defense in the NFL.
And 31st scoring defense, allowing 31 points per game. Second and 5. Brady calling out the signals for the Pats. Brady throws in stride, and a rare drop by Welker. Would have been a touchdown for Welker and the Patriots.
Well, we know what Dancer is. That's the slant route down the field to Welker. I wonder if the sun bothered him on this one. You can see the shadows kind of line up with the sun. Ball went right through his hands, and Welker can't believe it, and this crowd can't believe it.
This season, Wes Welker, 61 catches, 743 yards. Just prolific numbers for Welker. 4-time Pro Bowler. So a 3rd and 5 now for the Pats. Brady. Good hands working along the sideline, and it's the veteran Deion Branch in a matchup with Leotis McKelvin. McKelvin getting the start. Terrence McGee has been placed on IR. Aaron Williams is out with a knee injury that he suffered against Houston.
Well, for Deion Branch, that's 7 catches this season, 2 on this drive.
Now inside the 30-yard line. Gronkowski has not been a factor yet. Hand off. Ridley zigzags and picks up 3 yards in the process.
Well, Gronkowski hasn't been a factor yet because they haven't got to the red zone. He's got 7 receptions, touchdown receptions from Tom Brady. You see just how good the Patriots are of controlling the tempo, controlling time of possession.
Gronkowski's on pace for an 86 catch, 1,160-yard, 14-touchdown season. Trying to bang it inside. Ridley, second effort, actually moved backwards, trying to circle to the outside and held to no gain as Darius, the number 3 pick in the 2011 draft, makes the play.
That's the second big play by Marcel Darius in this first quarter. Tipped the pass on 2nd down that should have been intercepted. That time he stops Ridley.
12th play of the drive, opening drive for New England. 3rd and 7 now for the Patriots. We come up on 6 minutes to play in this first quarter. Operating from the gun. Rush is coming. Brady steps and throws. Intercepted, and then he lost the ball. McKelvin had it on his hands. Deion Branch fought for it. Off the deflection. And New England's field goal unit will come on.
Yeah, this ball thrown right on target to Branch. Went right through his hands, but Branch didn't give up on it. Did a good job of getting back and stripping it from McKelvin. But 2 potential interceptions on this opening drive. And Tom Brady said that in the past when he's thrown the ball errantly to the Bills, they always catch him. Not so today.
43-yard attempt for Stephen Gostkowski. And he knocks it through to get New England on the board first. 6:04 mark. Opening quarter in Foxborough. It's 3-0. Pats. Foxborough War Memorial, Veterans Day, and that'll be a theme throughout the broadcast today. The Patriots and the Bills here on CBS. 13 plays, 48 yards. Gostowski with a 43-yard field goal. Tom Brady on that drive, 4 of 7, 29 yards, but almost had it picked off twice. Gostowski kicks it off. McKelvin and Smith, the deep men. And it's coming back to the 20 once again for the Bills. 3-0 lead for the Patriots. 6:04 left. Opening quarter. This Veterans Day weekend, there are salute to service recognitions throughout the NFL. Here in Foxborough, the Kraft family was joined by veterans and active soldiers from every branch of the military in displaying a huge American flag, the C-5 flyover during the national anthem. And on Friday, the Patriots dedicated a seat which will be permanently vacant here at Gillette Stadium in recognition of our soldiers who are prisoners of war or missing in action. Patriots and the Bills, 3-0 New England, 6:04 to go in this first quarter. Buffalo with the football, a 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line. C.J. Spiller coming back the other way. Explosive abilities when he gets to the open field, but the Patriots able to set the edge, and Spiller tried to loop around Ninkovich. He is so tough to fool, Rob Ninkovich. It's a 3-yard gain for Spiller.
Well, Fred Jackson got all the carries in the first series, but when you're averaging 7.2 per carry, you know you've got a home run hitter there. And even his quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, says, hey, hold your breath when you hand the ball off to him. You're going to see something unexpected and good.
We asked Chan Cayley about Spiller and if they're going to get him more involved. He said, look, you can't revolve everything around one guy, but the team does want to get him more touches. 2nd and 7. Fitzpatrick looked in that direction and is sacked. Ball is on the ground. Patriots recover. Jermaine Cunningham. Ryan Fitzpatrick coughs it up. Wilfork was collapsing the pocket on Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Wilfork gets credit for the sack and the forced fumble, and Cunningham scoops it up with his left hand. Great field position for the Patriots now. Fitzpatrick wanted to swing that ball out to the outside there to Spiller, but both Gerard Mayo and Chandler Jones were going with the swing route there. That caused Fitzpatrick to look elsewhere. By that time, it was too late as Wilfork gets his first sack of the season.
And New England has the football at the 13-yard line of Buffalo. Already with a 3-0 lead. Brady from the gun. Little pitch for Ridley. Ridley hit from the side and actually gains more yards thanks to Alex Carrington.
Let's go back to the fumble. Here's Spiller on the swing route. Here's Gerard Mayo, and here is Chandler Jones. Watch the two of them go after Spiller, and that's exactly where Fitzpatrick wanted to throw this ball, is because the coverage down the field was there for the Patriots.
2nd and 5 now for New England. Just under 5 minutes to go in the first. Ridley remains in the backfield. Brady looks, throws. Incomplete and flagged down. Gronkowski was double covered. George Wilson and Brian Scott over there.
Pass interference. Number 37 defense in the end zone. Ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
Well, this ball was not even catchable. This is a bad call by the officials. Little bit of contact with George Wilson and Gronkowski. But when you see this ball come down, it's about 10 yards to the outside, nowhere near the receiver nor the defender. That's a horrible call.
And it sets up New England 1st and goal at the 1. Brady on a give. Ridley stacked up. He got thrown down. Well played by Nick Barnett, the veteran linebacker.
Yeah, Nick Barnett playing inside on this goal line defense. Did a good job of scraping and getting to Ridley before he could turn up, but it was the penetration on the left side there. Mario Williams did a good job and causes a 2-yard loss.
Should mention Aaron Hernandez is inactive because of that ankle sprain. Continues to be an issue. Did not make the trip to London. They were hoping the bye week was going to benefit him. They have activated Asante Shenko, the veteran tight end. Grady pumps. Incomplete, and another flag. Lloyd in a matchup with Gilmore. Play was whistled dead. Kyle Moore was
Pass
open.
interference. Number 27 defense in the end zone. Ball replaced at the 1. Automatic first down.
And that'll be the number 10 overall pick, Stephon Gilmore from South Carolina.
Yeah, pretty easy call right there. Ball in the air, hands on the receiver by Gilmore. And it'll first and goal at the 1 again.
Brady on a give. Touchdown, Ridley steamrolls in for the score.
Yeah, that'll make Vince Wilfork happy, forcing the fumble that was recovered by Cunningham. Right side of that line. Look at the job that Branch does there. Everybody doing their job on that right side. Fulmer with a key block, and Ridley gets in easily.
So Stephen Ridley, his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. Extra point coming from Gostowski. And the Patriots take advantage of the turnover. They force the fumble on Fitzpatrick. They turn it into 7 points. New England with a 10-0 lead on Buffalo in the first. Last meeting between these two teams, week 4, and it was Buffalo who took the early lead, a 21-7 advantage over New England, only to see the Patriots come back to win it 52-28. Patriots had 580 yards in that game. As Gostowski kicks it off, McKelvin and Smith deep, and this will once again be a touchback. Gostowski is 3 out of 3 on kickoffs going back to the 20. To get the latest news and analysis from CBS Sports experts, watch Pro Football 360 live weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern or on demand at cbssports.com/profootball360. So Fitzpatrick, after the turnover, back on the field. He's only attempted 1 pass. Bunch of penalties on that first drive. Fred Jackson was the featured back on the first possession. Then it was C.J. Spiller. Now it's Jackson back again. Jackson's got some room. And Jackson with a cut upfield, but a penalty marker down. New England pointing in Buffalo's direction.
Holding. Number 70. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Yeah, he's blocking against, that's Eric Wood, the center, blocking against Vince Wilfork. And you can watch the two of them battle here. That's kind of a iffy call at best. But that's the way it's been going in this first quarter for the Bills. Penalties and questionable calls. 4th penalty against the Bills.
1st and 20 now for Buffalo. Looking out of the gun, Fitzpatrick, rush coming. Hit as he throws, it's incomplete. And they're getting pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick. Justin Francis, another New England rookie on defense out of Rutgers.
Now here he is lined up as a defensive end. Gets right by the rookie Cordy Glenn. And he just drills the quarterback. Patriots came into the game with 17 sacks. They have 1 today by Wilfork. A near one that time by the rookie Francis.
Buffalo has now allowed 82 points off of turnovers. That's the 2nd most in the NFL. Play clock down to 1. Fake the running play. Fitzpatrick pats the ball. Out of the pocket, Fitzpatrick throws a dart. Lee Smith with the catch. Just his 2nd catch of the season. Brandon Spikes with the stop. And our Fouts focus, that man, Vince Wilfork, and all the attention that he gets.
Now, he's been to the Pro Bowl, he's a team captain, but it's never been about accolades for the former #1 pick. Watch how unselfish he is as he takes on the double team to allow his teammates to have one-on-one blocks to rush and sack Peyton Manning. Wilfork continues to be one of the league's most dominant defensive tackles, and we've seen him in action already today, making big plays.
And he told us about the versatility of this defense, moving guys around, switching defensive ends, moving linebackers, makes it so tough on the opponent. They don't know what they're looking at. Jackson Fred Jackson very close, and that spot might be enough for a first down.
Yeah, they're going to give it to him because this official right here is standing right on the 30-yard line, and that's what they needed. This was a screen pass to Jackson, but it's the effort at the end of it. He's at the 15, 25-yard line there when he first makes contact with two Patriots. He looks over and he sees he's got just enough for the first down. A huge play for the Bills, obviously, here in the first quarter.
Mayo and Wilson trying to bring him down before he hit that yard line. 15 yards on the catch and run. New set of downs for Buffalo. C.J. Spiller, the cut. Spiller dances to the outside. 7-yard gain for Spiller as he faked out Dennard. Let's head to New York. NFL Today update. JB, Dan Marino.
Cam Newton and Mike Tolbert sets up this play. And Cam Newton, no play action pass. Rolls those right a little bit, and Greg Olsen in the flat. 4-yard touchdown. Carolina up 7-0. You know what? Dan Fouts is probably replaying that kind of play in his mind, right? They make it look too easy. No question about it. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
And guys, you wonder with Carolina, there's a lot of talent on that team. If they could get on a roll and get it going after the struggles to start the season and the criticism that Cam Newton was getting. Jackson right up the middle. Jackson capable of breaking tackles. Tough inside runner. 4-yard gain as Gerard Mayo brought him down.
And Fred Jackson off to a real good start in this game. 4 carries now for 20 yards. And, of course, that 15-yard pass reception that got the Bills out of a hole and picked up the first down.
Yeah, we asked C.J. Spiller about splitting time with Jackson, and he said Coach Gailey talked about the running back situation before the season. This wasn't a surprise. We both understood and knew the deal. On first down, Brad Smith shifts out of the backfield and will now set up on the outside. Jackson fake the handoff to him. Fitzpatrick has time. Looks, throws. Good pass to Donald Jones and a first down into New England territory. Short of the 35. It covers 22 yards on the hookup, working against Alfonso Dennard, the rookie out of Nebraska.
And Fitzpatrick told us that he liked Jones' chances with the play-action passing game. He gets inside Dennard and all the way across the field. The play-action gave Fitzpatrick the time to throw, and Jones converted on the other end for 22 yards.
Had that long touchdown catch against New England in the first meeting. It's the end of one. 10-0. Patriots in front. This is the NFL on CBS. Start of the second quarter. New England leading Buffalo 10-0. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts, and the rest of our broadcast crew. Bob Monsbach, our producer, Suzanne Smith, director. Also our broadcast associate, Steve Murphy, here on Veterans Day. Want to have a shout out to Murph, who served in the Air Force for our country proudly. 4 receivers set at the 36-yard line. First play of the second quarter. Jackson trying to keep the legs churning, and a flag comes down late in the play. Vince Wilfork, first man there, and then got some help from his Patriot teammates. It's a 2-yard gain.
And Cordy Glenn is slow to get up. And that pile fell right on top of him as he was on the ground trying to get up.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that's going to help the Buffalo Bills, the first penalty against the New England Patriots today.
Watch Glenn 77 on the ground here. And now after the running back Jackson is stopped, there's the face mask penalty. Whole pile gets thrown down on Glenn.
So Buffalo with a first down in the red zone, just inside the 20. Trailing 10-0. Fitzpatrick steps, throws, Jackson with a catch. And Jackson brought down by Brandon Spikes, the third-year linebacker from Florida. 4-yard pickup for Jackson.
Really good tackle, too, in the open field by Brandon Spikes. If he doesn't make this tackle down around the ankles of Fred Jackson, Jackson's going to get a big gain out of this and maybe get to the end zone.
So here's where Buffalo will mix and match. Jackson comes to the sideline. C.J. Spiller enters.
And Buffalo struggled last week against Houston in the red zone.
They had 3 red zone opportunities, 2 field goals and a missed field goal in that 21-9 loss. Spiller gets a touch. C.J. Spiller lowers the helmet, and Mayo and McCourty there to bring him down. A 4-yard pickup for the Buffalo running back.
And you see what the skills of Spiller there. He bounced it to the outside, and when he realized he couldn't go any further to the outside to try to outrun people, he lowered his head on 2 tacklers and drove them backwards and brought up a very manageable 3rd down now for Fitzpatrick. A lot of options for this offense on 3rd and short.
Also rotating tight end. Scott Chandler in there, Lee Smith to the sideline. 3rd and 2 for Buffalo. Running play. Spiller. C.J. Spiller with a penalty marker down. Jermaine Cunningham, and then a crowd.
Yeah, they're going to get Chris Hairston right tackle. Going to get him for holding.
Holding. Number 75 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
He's working against Jermaine Cunningham. And another penalty. Here is Hairston. And watch as Cunningham comes out into him. He's going to reach out and just tackle him as Cunningham is trying to make the tackle on Spiller. Another penalty sets the Bills back.
Well, Hairston getting opportunities because of injuries. Right now, he's known as a better pass protector than a run blocker. And that's the 7th penalty against the Buffalo Bills. 3rd and 12 now, just outside the 20. Fitzpatrick with a deep drop, feeling the pressure. Fitzpatrick brought down. Ninkovich. And another sack for this New England defense.
Yeah, both defensive ends did the job here. Chandler Jones forced Fitzpatrick up into the pocket. Here is Jones out here, and here is Ninkovich. Watch as they converge here on the quarterback. A lot of time to throw initially, but that move there by Jones forced Fitzpatrick up where Ninkovich was there to clean it up.
5th sack of the season for Rob Ninkovich. 41-yard attempt for Lindell. And he's got it. 10-3, New England leading Buffalo. 12:07 to play. First half, back to Foxborough after this. Buffalo put together an 11-play, 57-yard drive. It took 6:47. They settled for the 41-yard field goal for Lindell. Fitzpatrick 4 of 5 on that drive. And Buffalo now trails 10-3.
And on that drive, on that 3rd down, didn't force the ball into the end zone where it could have been picked off. Field goal was huge for Buffalo.
Lindell kicking it off. And this is returnable for McCourty. Devin McCourty driven backwards as he hit the 15-yard line. They'll give him forward progress beyond that. Veterans Day as we celebrate and honor those serving our country in the military. NFL Sunday here in New England. In honor of Veterans Day, for every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games, the league will donate $100 to each of its nonprofit partners, the Pat Tillman Foundation, USO, and Wounded Warrior Project. To join the salute and learn more, visit NFL.com/salute. Shane Vereen is in, Brady to throw, tried to squeeze it on that slant route, but could not get it to Branch. Incomplete. Stephon Gilmore certainly got the attention of the New England receivers in preparing for this game.
Well, Brandon Lloyd said for a rookie, he's very, very good. He had a good game in the first time out there. But I'm a little bit surprised at how many times that Brady in this first half has targeted Deion Branch. Branch only had 5 catches coming into today's game. That's the 3rd time that Brady's thrown in his direction.
Dan, they just huddled on offense.
Well, stop the presses.
2nd and 10 for the Patriots. Shotgun. Brady. Perfect pass to Welker. First down, New England across the 35-yard line. That covers 19 yards.
Well, maybe that's why they huddled. Welker wanted to tell the quarterback, don't forget about me. I'll catch everything you throw, although he did drop one in that first quarter. That was a potential touchdown.
Second catch for Wes Welker, 26 yards, and a first down for New England. They handle the rush. Brady, tossed to Gronkowski. The touch pass from Brady to the tight end. 24 yards on the pass play.
Well, he had to get the ball over the head of Nick Barnett. Watch Barnett drop back here, and there goes the soft toss. Just a beautiful throw by the future Hall of Famer.
6 of 10 now, Brady, 72 yards. Pumped by Brady, on the move, and he hits Welker in stride. Angles out of bounds for a gain of 7.
Brady, not the most mobile quarterback, but as all great ones do, the pocket passer that he is, knows his pocket, knows where the escape routes are, and feels the pressure.
And also knows his players, Dan. Tom talked about the worst thing you can do with the receiver is give him too many things to think about. All those option routes. Hand off, a blast! Vereen just got shellacked, a loss of 4. As Denoris Searcy, the second-year safety from North Carolina, laid the blow.
Yeah, Dave Wanstead, defensive coordinator, brings the safety blitz that time, and Vereen pays the price. Big hit by Norris. Denoris Searcy.
3rd and 7 now for the Pats. Danny Woodhead is in. Motion man is Branch. 10 minutes to play in this first half. Brady looks. And he hits Woodhead. First down, Woodhead gets extra yards as he's built low to the ground and turns it into a 15-yard gain.
Yeah, a little option route for Woodhead out of the backfield, working on a linebacker. Here he is here. Watch Barnett. As the rush comes from Kyle Moore, 54. Just a little slant route. First down.
Another dump off. Woodhead the acceleration. And he takes it to the 15-yard line. New England moving the football again. Chased down by Marcel Darius. And another 7-yard gain. New set of downs for the Patriots to work with.
And once the Patriots get momentum, they go right to the line of scrimmage. Try to keep the Bills from substituting.
2nd and 3. Woodhead busting to the clear. Touchdown, Patriots. The left side of that New England line creating space. Logan Mankins. And Woodhead did the rest.
Great job on the left side of the line for the Patriots. Talked about Mankins. Solder also with a key block here. Watch as these two work, and this huge hole for Woodhead as he goes in untouched for the touchdown.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for Danny Woodhead. They can come at you from so many angles. Extra point, Gostowski. Danny Woodhead getting in on the act. Woodhead untouched for the score. Impressive drive for New England, and that's a beautiful drive along the New England countryside. Patriots up 17-3 over Buffalo. Danny Woodhead with a touchdown. New England now with 134 total yards of offense. Gostowski kicks it off. And he's 4 of 4 on kickoffs. Another touchback. Buffalo will have it at the 20, but now they're in a 14-point hole against the division leaders. New England Patriots have posted 20 straight home wins against AFC opponents. That is absolutely incredible, the consistency here at home for the Pats. They've got a 17-3 lead on Buffalo, 1st and 10 at the 20. Set it up for Spiller and picks up a yard and a half. Steve Gregory back in action for New England, pushed him out of bounds. Tomorrow, 2 broke girls find the sweetest thing possible in a candy store on an all-new episode. Tomorrow only, CBS. Gregory returns after missing the previous 4 games with a hip injury, but no Patrick Chung today, out with the shoulder injury. We'll call it 2nd and 8 for the Bills. Down to 8:37 to go in this first half. Handoff. Spiller. First down run for C.J. Spiller. 12-yard gain for Buffalo.
Spiller is so good, whether it's either on a draw play or a screen pass. Watch as he takes his handoff in open space like this. Good blocks out in front. Tight end Scott Chandler, right guard Craig Urbick, and Spiller picks up a 12-yard gain.
Spiller, a high school track star, won state titles in Florida in the 100, ran 10.35, 200, 21.20. Fitzpatrick, he's got Chandler, the tight end, for a big gain into New England territory. A strike from Ryan Fitzpatrick, 23 yards on the bullet. Devin McCourty, the tackle.
Yeah, he's very similar to Rob Gronkowski is Scott Chandler. 6'7", 263 pounds, big target obviously over the middle. Had a costly drop last week against Houston, but that time puts the ball in New England territory with that catch.
And that's really where things turned last week. Opening drive of the second half, Chandler had a drop, and then Houston took advantage once Buffalo went 3 and out. Fitzpatrick again feeding it to Chandler. First down, just short of the 25, working against Dante Hightower, the rookie linebacker from Alabama.
Yeah, and taking advantage of the rookie. Here he is right here. Here's Hightower. Watch the route here as he goes to the outside, then bends back inside, and actually Hightower helped him on the route by pushing him, then basically losing his balance as the ball was on his way to Chandler, who had an easy reception.
We asked Belichick about Fitzpatrick, and he said they rely on him a lot for pre-snap reads. He's very smart, doesn't hold the ball long, and doesn't take a lot of sacks. 7 straight completions and a timeout called by Buffalo. Well, in recent years, we know things can change in a hurry when these two teams play. Last 3 matchups, Buffalo Bills led 21-0, lost the game 49-21. How about New England? They led 21-0. They lost 34-31. And we told you about the matchup earlier this year, a 21-7 lead for Buffalo. New England came back. And again for C.J. Spiller. Boy, he is lightning fast. Cordy Glenn with the block on that left side, and Spiller takes it for 13.
So you're saying the Bills got the Patriots right where they want them, do you?
I guess so.
I think they like giving the ball to number 28. Just so quick to the outside and decisive with his cuts and looking to go north and south at the end of runs.
He's also averaging 3.24 yards after contact. That's number 1 in the NFL as well. Jackson is in for Spiller. And once again, they're in the red zone. This time it's Jackson. Up the middle, Jackson spin move from Jackson, takes it all the way. Touchdown, Buffalo. 14 yards and the second effort by Jackson.
And give a lot of credit to the rookie, Cordy Glenn, left tackle here, as he is going to lead the way for Jackson off this left side. But Jackson keeps his legs going as he sees a cutback there. Hightower goes low, can't make the tackle. The straight arm on McCourty, and a Bills touchdown. Great effort again by Fred Jackson.
Point after, Ryan Lindell. Second rushing touchdown of the season for Jackson. And this 2-pronged running attack for Buffalo is working. Spiller on the previous play, and then Jackson takes it all the way. 17-10. Six plays, 80 yards. It took just over 3 minutes for the Buffalo Bills. Jackson, the 14-yard touchdown to cut the New England lead to 7. And the Bills will kick it off. Buffalo enters action at 3-5, having dropped 4 of their last 5. 12 straight years without a playoff berth for this Buffalo team. Meanwhile, Bill Belichick's team, 11 straight winning seasons. And Belichick is now 8th on the NFL's all-time wins list, 4 behind Dan Reeves. McCourty and Vereen, the deep man. McCourty's going to take it out 2 yards deep. And McCourty runs into a wall short of the 20-yard line.
Good double team block here by Cordy Glenn and Andre Levitri, and then the kick out block by the tight end Scott Chandler. And vision by Jackson, seeing the hole on the backside of the offensive line. Great effort by Jackson for that 14-yard touchdown. Been an impressive first half, and you talked about the two-prong running attack of Buffalo. Both Jackson and Spiller getting it done on that drive.
New England came in ranked 7th in the NFL against the run, giving up 89 yards per game. They've given up 81 so far today. Brady throws it away. Olamanawui was the intended receiver. Number 47.
Fred Jackson with 6 carries, 37 yards, and a pair of catches. Remember that 3rd down and 15 where he converted on a screen pass. Got 15 yards. That led to a field goal. And now he's put the ball in the end zone for Buffalo's 10 points.
2nd and 10 now for New England. Shotgun, Brady. That throws it in the direction of Ridley, and Kyle Williams with a lick. Tom Brady dealing with pressure.
Kyle Williams just did a great job of overpowering Dan Conley, number 63. And then dropping the all-pro quarterback, Tom Brady. Brady misses last 2 pass attempts.
Brady in the first meeting, 22 of 36, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns. Brady has been limited to 9 of 15 today, 101 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. 3rd and 10. Delayed rush. Brady unloads up in the air. Incomplete. Edelman in a matchup with Leotis McKelvin.
Yeah, but they're going to get Jarris Byrd for pass interference on Gronkowski.
Pass interference. Number 31 defense. First down, spot of the foul.
And that's an interesting call because the ball wasn't thrown in the area of Gronkowski. If anything, that's an illegal contact call against Byrd and not pass interference. That's a 17-yard penalty, whereas it should have been just a 5-yard penalty. 87 is, that's Byrd holding Gronkowski down the field, but the ball intended for Edelman.
8 penalties for 67 yards. Ridley bouncing off of contact, and then Buffalo recovers with Mario Williams. They read that well. They limited Ridley to a 1-yard gain.
Boy, the penalties just continue to mount up against the Bills here in the first half. 8 penalties so far for 67 yards. That's the first one called against the Bills defense. And it was a big one because it was on 3rd down.
2nd and 9. Bradley on a dump off. Shane Vereen running hard, and Vereen first down with a flag thrown. Vereen avoids tackles and turns it into a solid gainer.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 27 defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And it's Stephon Gilmore called on the face mask.
Yeah, right at the end of the play, Stephon Gilmore is going to reach out, watch his right hand there, grab the face mask of Vereen. Right in plain sight, easy call.
And another penalty against this Buffalo team. They trail New England 17-10.
And it looked like the Bills had some momentum on defense. The first 2 plays of the series were incomplete passes, including a big hit by Kyle Williams on Tom Brady. But again, the Bills, their own worst enemy so far today with the penalties.
Go, they move the chains inside the 40-yard line. Pretty fake. Brady looks. Brady fires. Deep ball. Incomplete. And a flag throw. Gilmore there defensively in the back of the end zone. Brandon Lloyd was trying to free himself.
Now there's a question, was this ball catchable? And that's what the officials are having this discussion. George Wilson in there pleading his case.
Pass interference. Number 27 defense. In the end zone. Ball will be spotted at the 1. First down.
Little hand fighting in the back of the end zone. Gilmore and Brandon Lloyd. And the call will go against the rookie Gilmore. But again, where's this ball land? Not even in the field of play. 37-yard gift there. That's the second time they've had a pass interference penalty in the end zone.
Extra offensive lineman, jumbo formation here. Give it to Ridley. And Ridley is dropped. Nice play by Alex Carrington. Carrington in his third year out of Arkansas State. It'll be 2nd and goal now for the Pats.
You hear that cliche about a team shooting themselves in the foot? Well, the Bills are already up to their kneecaps. 10 penalties, 119 yards in penalties here in the first half.
Second and goal. Brady looking to throw. A floater. Gronkowski! He's got it! Touchdown, Patriots! The symmetry. Brady to Gronkowski. And Gronkowski goes for a rather standard spike.
Yeah, he was struggling and stumbling to get out of his route here. Watch him working against the defensive end there, Kyle Moore, losing his balance, keeping his eye on the ball, making a sensational catch in the corner of the end zone. You just don't see tight ends diving for balls like that. Reminds me of Ozzie Newsome, the great Hall of Famer for the Cleveland Browns, making a catch like that.
So Gronkowski, who busted out the Buckingham Palace guard dance 2 weeks ago in London.
It's a beef eater, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind one right now.
You hungry? Halftime's not far away.
I'm more thirsty.
6 plays, 82 yards, 69 penalty yards against Buffalo. 24-10, New England puts some space in between themselves and the Bills. Another touchdown for Gronkowski. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report showing JV and the rest of the game. The latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. 41st consecutive game with a touchdown pass. That's the third longest streak in NFL history. Drew Brees has extended his streak. The all-time record holder. Gostowski kicks it off. And over the head of Leotis McKelvin. Back to the 20-yard line. That's where Buffalo has grown accustomed to starting. Well, Gronkowski, colorful character. And we'll be creative. That was a whoops. This one, between the legs. And that was the London version.
I think that's my favorite.
Oh, this one? That's not your favorite?
No. I think he's trying to actually knock the air out of the ball. And I think he may succeed at some point.
Well, gyrating, I don't think helps in that department, but I understand what you mean with the spike. He does crush the ball into the ground. Fitzpatrick on a give. This time they're ready for Jackson, and they hold him to no gain on the play.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is having a pretty good afternoon so far. 8 out of 9 for 95 yards. He's hit 6 different receivers, and he's hit his last 7 in a row.
Well, he did fumble in the first quarter. That did lead to New England's first touchdown of the day. And a 24-10 advantage for the Patriots. 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick's in the gun. They handle the rush. Fitzpatrick on the out route. Here's the curl by Johnson. And gets out of bounds. Johnson, a thigh injury last week as he took a knee to the thigh and was not wearing those pads on his thighs last week against Houston.
And next year that will be mandatory for all players to wear thigh pads and knee pads. And all you have to do is have a Charlie horse, as Johnson did last week with that thigh bruise against Houston.
We did ask him, you're going to wear the thigh pads today? You go, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Double order. On first down now for Buffalo. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Back to the ground game. Jackson trying to fight through it. And Rob Ninkovich was the first man to slow him down, and that allowed the Patriots to get to Fred Jackson. 2-yard gain. Last week against Houston, it was an inadvertent knee by Glover Quinn late in the first quarter. Johnson hobbled off the field. It was a thigh bruise. He did return to the game, but did not have another catch the rest of the day.
You can see he has no thigh pads or knee pads on there. And now just a little bit of a pad there. You can see those white pants.
On a 2nd and 8 now. Down to 2:03 left. They're going to get a play in before the 2-minute warning. Fitzpatrick. Drop ball, Donald Jones. Incomplete. They'll face a 3rd down and long when we come back with 1:57 to play. First half in Foxborough. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB and Company, NFL scores, highlights, it's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. 3rd and 8 for Buffalo, 1:57 to go in this first half. They trail New England 24-10. Jackson in the backfield, Fitzpatrick from the gun in a 4-receiver set. Fitzpatrick throws it, threads the needle to Chandler, and a first down out to midfield.
Another big catch for Chandler over the middle. 3rd catch of the first half for Chandler. They go right to the line of scrimmage. Big hit by Steve Gregory.
And again, spread formation here for Fitzpatrick. 1.5 minutes remaining. Buffalo has 2 timeouts to work with. Fitzpatrick, open man, and it is Jackson. Shedding tacklers. Jackson is cut down just before the first down yardage. 9-yard gain.
Looked like Jean-Claude Keeley going through the slalom gates that time, making Pats miss.
Love when you make old skiing references.
Oh, this is almost winter.
2nd and 1. Out of the pocket, Fitzpatrick. And he'll run for the first down. Fitzpatrick had his legs taken out from under him.
Yeah, that'll get a flag. He was well out of bounds. Great move by Fitzpatrick to get around Gerard Mayo.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 37 of the defense, hitting the quarterback out of bounds.
So it is
15-yard penalty, first down.
the rookie Dennard picks it up.
Yeah, that's an easy call for the officials. Fitzpatrick clearly going out of bounds, but it was the move before that on Mayo that gave Fitzpatrick the first down, and courtesy of Dennard, ball now be placed at the 21.
Brad Smith is in. 54 seconds to go now.
And 2 timeouts for the Bills, so they've got a lot of options here to get 7 points on the board before halftime.
Empty backfield on a 1st and 10. Just short of the 21. Play clock is down to 2. Fitzpatrick sets, throws, sideline, end zone, incomplete. Stevie Johnson in a matchup with Dennard. Ryan Fitzpatrick has now gone over 10,000 yards as a member of the Buffalo Bills, joining this select group: Kelly, Ferguson, Kemp, and Bledsoe.
Joe Ferguson drafted in 1973, along with Burt Jones, Ron Jaworski, and a few others.
Yeah, who else? Some bearded guy out of Oregon.
The greatest quarterback draft class of all time.
Really?
According to me.
2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick slings it. It's caught inside the 5 by Jones. Down to 40 seconds left. McCourty there for New England. It's an 18-yard hookup. And a timeout called.
Now, Fitzpatrick just having a fabulous afternoon. Now he's 12 of 15 for 150 here in the first half. And he's finding areas down the field over the middle. That's exactly where Jones goes in front of the safeties. McCourty, of course, is a converted cornerback. And Fitzpatrick told us yesterday that is obviously a very difficult transition for any player. You can see McCourty making the solid tackle there, but not until Jones has the ball inside the 5.
Well, they call a timeout. You know, there are 2 schools of thought here. Obviously, Buffalo's looking for the touchdown more than anything else, but you do have to be concerned about giving New England too much time to work with, and 3 timeouts at the end of the first half.
Yeah, but that's negative thinking if you're an offense. The offense, you want to keep the pressure on the defense, get the ball in the end zone any way you can at any time.
I think Buffalo needed to organize itself.
Yep, absolutely.
After that catch inside the 5. This is first and goal now. Jackson in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Fitzpatrick. Pump. Fitzpatrick throws back in the end zone. Stevie Johnson, and it's ruled incomplete.
Johnson may have come down inbounds, but give Dennard a lot of credit for pushing Stevie Johnson out of the back of the end zone.
There was a little bit of a juggle. Just 1 foot.
Thanks to Dennard. Great play by Dennard.
10th play of the drive. 36 seconds to go in this first half. New England up by 14 on Buffalo. Fitzpatrick. Guns. Caught. Touchdown. Scott Chandler. Buffalo climbs back into it. 31 seconds to play in this first half.
4 catches, 57 yards for Chandler. His 5th touchdown of the season from Ryan Fitzpatrick. And a great answer to the Patriots touchdown pass to Gronkowski.
And the Patriots have had trouble defending Scott Chandler this season, his 3rd against the Pats. 11 plays, 80 yards, the extra point from Lindell. And it's a 7-point game with 31 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Now the Patriots having all kinds of trouble finding the tight end here. Watch Chandler just come down, and he's going to be totally left free here by the Patriots. Gets in behind Hightower. Hightower's looking around. He is expecting some type of help. Watch the bobble here by Chandler as he hangs with it and makes his quarterback extremely happy.
Well, they are 28th against the pass, and Buffalo is taking advantage of it. Ryan Fitzpatrick, has been a lot of frustration for this Bills team. They thought that they would be a legitimate player in the AFC East, and they're 2 games behind New England, but a win today, and they're 1 game behind the Patriots.
Yeah, that's the whole story in the AFC this entire season. Sure, you've got the Houston Texans at 7-1. They've got a tough game coming up against the Chicago Bears, but this whole conference is so wide open, and that to some ugly word parody comes into play. Other people kind of like that word.
You know, New England's secondary has been shaky this season, and people questioned a bit when they acquired cornerback Aqib Talib from Tampa Bay. Gave up a 4th-round pick for him, but they need help. He's serving the final game of his suspension, so Talib will be a part of the Patriots beginning next week, and who knows what the future holds for Talib in a Pats uniform. Coming up on CBS Tuesday, it's a crime so big, the law and the mob will join forces. A can't-miss episode of TV's #1 news show, Vegas, Tuesday, only CBS. So there's Houston, 7-1. Very good chance they're going to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Baltimore at 6-2. New England leads the AFC East at 5-3, and Denver at 5-3. Indianapolis, what a story. Andrew Luck, the poise and maturity in his first year in the NFL. Double tight end set. Timing route to Lloyd, unable to haul it in with Gilmore there defensively.
And you see Gilmore, after the ball's on the ground, he looks around. And you know what he's looking around for?
Flag.
Yellow laundry, you bet.
Well, that's life as a corner to begin with in the NFL.
Yeah.
Take it a step further. Life as a corner, when you're a rookie, you always think it's going to be your fault. You're getting picked on.
A lot of balls in your direction, that's for sure.
10 penalties, 119 penalty yards against the Buffalo Bills. Brady, dump off over the middle. Danny Woodhead out across the 25-yard line. Nick Barnett with the tackle.
And you know what that touchdown did to this crowd?
Yeah.
It's almost as if they're not here.
And New England is not going to be aggressive here. They're just going to walk off the field at halftime. This is not the Patriots way. All the energy has been sucked out of Gillette Stadium at the end of this first half. 24-17 Patriots at the break. Just about ready for third quarter action here in Foxborough. 24-17, New England leading the Buffalo Bills. So Tom Brady and the Patriots ready to go. They've got a lead on Buffalo, but Buffalo gained some of that momentum at the end of the second quarter. And at halftime, a ceremony honoring the career of Kevin Falk, announcing his retirement. Falk, a second-round draft pick in 1999 for the Patriots. He addressed the crowd, and the crowd certainly gave him love back. Spent his entire 13-year career as a member of the Patriots, and Dan and I had a chance to talk to Bill Belichick about Kevin Falk and said, one of the favorite guys he's ever coached, the work ethic and the passion that he brought to the team, and a big part of the multiple Super Bowl champions.
A totally unselfish player, and I think that's so important when we're a utility player like Kevin was, to be able to do so many things and not complain about it. A real team player.
Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. Veterans Day here in New England. Your thoughts on the first half? I guess we should have expected it, considering the way that these two teams have played one another in recent years.
Well, you talked about how the team that falls behind usually wins this game. Well, the Bills did fall behind, but they've got momentum now. They got to be feeling awful good about their chances here in the second half.
And the Bills kick it off to New England. Lindell with a touchback. And the Patriots will have it at the 20-yard line. Look at the first half numbers. 229 total yards for Buffalo. And New England with 153. The Buffalo turnover, though, did lead to 7 points for the Pats.
And the penalties, obviously, you just can't have that for an entire game, to have 10 penalties and a football field long, let alone in the first half. But Bills also dropped a couple of potential passes from Tom Brady that would have given them good field position in the first quarter.
Most penalty yards in the first half of an NFL game since Seattle had 124 in November of '95 at Jacksonville. On first down, Brady throws, nobody home, looking for Welker in a matchup with Leotis McKelvin. So McKelvin getting an opportunity once again for Buffalo because of the injury to Aaron Williams and to Terrence McGee, now on injured reserve. McKelvin, one of his lowest moments as a player came against New England, a fumbled kickoff return, Monday Night Football season opener 2009, a career low point. And McKelvin has turned the page since then and realizes this is a golden opportunity. Up the middle, Stephen Ridley, big chunks of yards to the 35.
And you saw Brady's frustration on the previous incomplete pass. He was looking for the back shoulder fade, but he's got to like this play. Gronkowski coming over with a key block on Barnett. That opens up a huge hole for Ridley and a first down.
Out of the gun and set up the tight end screen. Gronkowski gets drilled by Barnett. And a 5-yard gain for Rob Gronkowski.
Payback is a bruise. Big hit by Barnett as Gronkowski on the screen pass, trying to get something going. And Barnett would have none of that.
Gronkowski, 8 catches, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns against Buffalo in Week 4. Ridley with a head of steam, and he gets tripped up. 4-yard gain for Stephen Ridley, and this has been the pass distribution for Tom Brady.
And nothing new, really, for Welker and Gronkowski be at the top of the list, but it was Woodhead's contribution, that last touchdown drive for the Patriots, that was so key.
Now a 3rd and 1. Bill stacked the line. It's a pitch for Ridley, and he picks the right spot. First down run for Stephen Ridley. In fact, Ridley comes in leading the NFL in that category coming into today. 47 first down runs, number 1 in the league.
48% conversion coming into today's game for the Patriots on 3rd down. Today, they are 4 out of 5, thanks to Mr. Ridley.
24-17, Patriots leading the Bills. First possession of this second half. Just shy of midfield, Gronkowski shifts out of the backfield. Feed it to Ridley again. Stephen Ridley, bruising presence, 4-yard gain for him. Spencer Johnson with the stop for Buffalo.
Well, scores on their first 4 possessions, and time ran out for them at the end of the first half after the Bills had gone down and scored a touchdown.
Dime package here for Buffalo on a 2nd and 6. Brady fake the handoff, looks. Brady throws a dart to the outside. Brandon Lloyd. First down, just short of the 35-yard line of Buffalo. That covers 11 yards.
And Lloyd was the outlet receiver for Brady on this route. Real good adjustment by Lloyd. Saw that the slant route was cut off. Worked his way to the outside.
And back to the ground game, this time Vereen, and Vereen hit before he gets to the 30-yard line. We asked Lloyd about becoming a free agent and maybe coming to New England. We said, hey, was this your number 1 choice? And he said, yeah, it was my number 1 choice. I don't think I was their number 1 choice. But he really felt it was a good fit. He knew this offense. Josh McDaniels, his former head coach in Denver, an offensive coordinator in St. Louis. And it has been a good fit. Not putting up huge numbers, but an important player in this offense as Vereen is driven back by Wilson.
Well, the thing about Lloyd is he's tough to cover man for man because of his explosiveness. He's got great body control, can adjust to the ball while it's in the air. Of course, Josh McDaniels highly recommended picking up Lloyd in free agency.
3rd and 5 now.
4 down.
Just shy of a 30, a 4-receiver set. This drive, 6 running plays, 3 passes. 11:20 mark of the 3rd. Brady, look out! Brady goes down. It's Williams and Darius busting through on the New England offensive line.
It's just the 15th time that Brady's been sacked this year. He doesn't like it, but watch the pressure coming right up the middle here. And Kyle Williams just overpowers along with Marcel Darius. Brady upset. Mankins slow to get off the field.
So Logan Mankins is up on his feet, and he is limping his way to the New England sideline. The 8-year veteran, 4-time Pro Bowler.
He's had a hip problem too throughout this season.
So medical staff will check out Mankins. It's now 4th down, and this drive ends. We see Zoltan Mesko for the first time. McKelvin, the fair catch, and he brings it in at the 13-yard line. 25-yard punt. 7-point game in New England. Under him.
And right guard Dan Conley is also injured on that offensive line for New England.
With a back injury, Connolly is a question mark. Jackson forced to the sideline by Steve Gregory. A little shove at the end of the play, and no gain on the play.
Tom Brady was upset coming off the field, trying to explain things to Julian Edelman. Perhaps it was a sight adjustment that Edelman did not see, but he certainly got the message from his quarterback.
So that's explaining things?
In no uncertain terms. Don't ever fool the quarterback. Rule number 1.
2nd and 10 now for Buffalo. Fitzpatrick out of the gun. 13 of 17, 153 yards and a touchdown. Fitzpatrick is dumped. Back at the 7-yard line, it's Jermaine Cunningham. A 2nd-round draft pick in 2010. Cunningham starting to make some plays for this New England defense.
And he's lining up inside here. Look at the speed as he just overpowers Eric Wood on his way to the quarterback. Cunningham, not a big guy, just 255 pounds, playing as a defensive tackle, taking the 310 Eric Wood back to the quarterback.
And now that gets the crowd back into it. Patriots fans come to their feet on a 3rd and 16.
Delay a game.
Delay a game. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
You know, a lot of people would say, well, you see the play clock running down like that, you should call timeout. Well, with 3rd down and long, such as it is, and now 3rd down and longer, you're going to need that timeout at the end of the game. You're probably going to run a draw play here, the concession type of conservative call. We saw the Bills do that earlier in the game. I doubt that Fitzpatrick is going to throw this ball anywhere near trouble in the Patriots secondary.
Buffalo now 11 penalties. There's the draw play to Jackson. Cuts it upfield and takes a shot from Mayo. Chandler Jones got him down low.
Now that's what Gerard Mayo does. He makes tackles. Leading tackler, over 100 so far in just half the season. And this big hit on Fred Jackson.
So Buffalo pinned deep in its own territory, now forced the punt. Welker and Edelman are deep. The punt from Powell. Angled towards the sideline, caught by Edelman and a flag down. And he gets tripped down low as Edelman tried to make his move up the field across the 45 by the veteran receiver Ruvel Martin.
And one of the gunners went out of bounds. The official threw his flag to designate that. And Bill Levy will tell us exactly what happened on the sidelines.
During the kick, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 33 of the kicking team went out of bounds, ran out of bounds, and got get back in immediately. 15-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
And that's the rookie Ron Brooks out of LSU, and that's another penalty against the Buffalo Bills. Patriots will have excellent field position when we come back. Crisp New England Sunday, 24-17. Patriots over the Bills. 8:44 to go in the third. Brady fires and complete to Branch. Deion Branch has got a first down. 13-yard pickup for Branch and the Patriots.
Another catch for Branch. That's 3 this afternoon. Tom Brady knows where Branch is going to be. Played together for a long time.
Line of scrimmage is now the 26. Brady from the gun. Brady over the middle. He completes to Wes Welker. Nick McDonald has slid in at that left guard spot.
I'll go back and explain this penalty on Ron Brooks. Watch as he is forced out of bounds as the ball is punted. But as soon as he gets back up, he's got to come back on the field to play. He runs a good 40 yards out of bounds down the field. That's unsportsmanlike.
2nd and 4. It's Vereen once again getting the call with 2 yards on the interior run. Mario Williams in on that stop. So the penalties now, 12 of them for 137 yards against Buffalo.
And that one gave, obviously, great field position to start this drive for Tom Brady and the Patriots. 15 yards after the punt reception by Edelman.
So now a 3rd and 2. Donald Thomas is in for Dan Connolly on the right side of the line. 5th-year pro from UConn. Branch, the motion man. Brady looks. Brady senses trouble. Gets out of it and connects. Woodhead lunging. Touchdown, Patriots. Tom Brady keeping the play alive, and Woodhead with another touchdown this afternoon.
Now Brady did really a smart thing. As he felt the pressure, he moved at the pressure. He ducked the pressure, knew that Woodhead was coming across the middle, and put the ball on the money. Great play by Brady. Look at Carrington get his hands up there, and the ball goes right by his hands to Woodhead, and Woodhead's in the end zone for his 2nd touchdown today.
They still had a chance to bring him down before he got to the goal line, and all scoring plays, of course, are reviewed. Is his knee down?
Nope. They've already confirmed it.
Right now, Danny Woodhead has a touchdown. They're taking a look.
Woodhead at 5'8", and he needed every inch to get in the end zone. Jarris Byrd dragging his ankles.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So 1 on the ground for Woodhead and 1 through the air. Tom Brady, his second touchdown pass of the afternoon. He's 17 of 25, 173 yards. Extra point, Gostowski to extend the New England lead. 7:06 mark, third quarter, Gillette Stadium. Patriots in front, 31-17. Help the victims of disasters like Hurricane Sandy. Text Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. CBS Cares. 31-17. Patriots leading the Bills. 7:06 to go in the third. And now New England will kick it off after the 4-play 39-yard drive. Helped set up by the penalty on the punt, with rookie Ron Brooks coming from out of bounds to inbounds, but not doing it in a timely manner. Leotis McKelvin, the return man. And McKelvin dropped as he hit the 15-yard line by the New England Patriots. So Derek Martin will get credit for the special teams tackle, and another look at the touchdown.
Great job by Woodhead coming out of the backfield, and he's going to beat the coverage of Nick Barnett. This is just good scouting here. You can see the quickness of Woodhead, too much for Barnett. And then he barely gets into the end zone.
So how does Buffalo respond here? Still plenty of time in this game. They're down by 2 touchdowns. C.J. Spiller is in with Brad Smith in the backfield. Take the handoff. Fitzpatrick sells it well. Throws over the middle. Stevie Johnson with a lunging catch. And a first down for Buffalo. 19 yards on the Fitzpatrick to Johnson hookup.
There's been nothing wrong with the Bills offense when they don't have penalties against them today. I mean, Fitzpatrick, a lot of time after the play fake to Spiller, and Johnson with a good catch on the end of that pass.
C.J. Spiller remains in there. Spiller, 5 carries for 38 yards. Play action. It's Spiller. Look at him go down the sideline. Spiller, sprinter speed. Chandler and Eric Wood providing blocks upfield. A 20-yard pickup on the catch and run.
Yeah, he was timed at the combine at 4.27, and we're going to see some of that right here. Out in front is Wood with a real good block. That gets Spiller an extra 5 yards down the field.
He is so explosive, especially out on the perimeter. And it sets up Buffalo with a 1st and 10 at the 45 of New England. Spiller sets up in the slot this time. Play clock is down to 2. Dickerson, the motion man. From the gun. Fitzpatrick sets. Throws a high throw handled by Jones, and a first down across the 35. Fitzpatrick is just slinging it.
Well, he's not having any pressure on him on this drive. Last drive he was sacked on a 3rd down. But the Patriots playing zone here, and there's a huge hole in that zone. Good adjustment to the ball by Jones, and another first down for Buffalo.
He is completing his passes at an 80% clip, 204 yards, and a touchdown for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Played his college ball nearby at Harvard. Harvard with a big loss to Penn yesterday, 30-21, the Ivy League championship. And Fitzpatrick throws it into the ground. He had nothing working downfield. Kyle Love with some pressure. I mentioned Harvard, so what does our production crew do?
Let's look at him in college. Wearing the same number, 14.
5,234 career passing yards, 39 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 10-0 as a senior. Won the Ivy League Player of the Year and led Harvard to the Ivy League title. Drafted in the 7th round by St. Louis back in 2005. Out of the gun, it's Spiller up the middle. Hits the hole. Andy Levitri with a nice block up front. turns it into a 5.5, 6-yard gain, depending on the spot.
And some of the all-time great quarterbacks come out of the Ivy League. All the way back to Sid Luckman of the Chicago Bears.
Third and 4 now for Buffalo. 4:22 and counting left in the third quarter. Fitzpatrick. Diving attempt off the rainbow delivery, and Jones can't haul it in. Marquise Cole drew the assignment on the outside.
Now it's a game of inches, and here they are right there. Be questionable whether he could have come down inbounds. Gotta love that effort, though, as he dives for that ball.
They are not sending the field goal unit on. This would be a 45-yard attempt. But Chan Gailey is trusting Fitzpatrick and his offense to convert on a fourth down.
Here's Spiller all the way outside here. Keep your eye on him.
Fans are in a frenzy. Fitzpatrick sets. He throws complete to Stevie Johnson. And they'll move the chains. Gailey.
Well, that was too easy.
Calls that play, and Bill Belichick is just shrugging his shoulders in disappointment in this defense.
Well, look at the route by Stevie Johnson. He's got the basketball background, and that was just a great move to the hoop.
His favorite player growing up, Tim Hardaway of the Golden State Warriors.
Killer crossover. We just saw it right there.
So a first down now for Buffalo. Out across the 15-yard line. They trail by 14 with 3:42 to go in the third. Working from the gun, Fitzpatrick looks. Flag thrown, catch made by Johnson. Johnson stays on his feet and works his way towards the sideline, but a penalty marker. Kyle Arrington trying to cut off the angle. It's 11 yards, but is it coming back?
No, it isn't. This is going to be lining up in the neutral zone.
Offside. Number 55 defense. Penalties decline. First down.
So it's Brandon Spikes. Call for the offsides. It doesn't matter. Johnson turned it into an 11-yard gain.
No, Spikes is right here. He's going to try and get a chuck on Chandler, but he stepped forward into the neutral zone, and that created the offsides. How about this drive for Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Bills?
First and goal at the 3. Along that left side of the Buffalo line, some extracurricular.
Ball start. Number 77 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Rookie against rookie. Cordy Glenn and Chandler Jones, and that may change the play calling here for Chan Gailey.
Obviously, this is another penalty against the rookie left tackle, number 77 on the bottom, back at near side of the screen here. And that little flinch there, it looked like it was going to be a running play.
That is 142 penalty yards. 13 total penalties. First and goal. Fitzpatrick looks. He's got time. Fitzpatrick fires. Just short. Donald Jones trying to spin his way in. And they'll set it up at the 1.
Now they're just not getting any pressure at all on this drive as Jones comes on the shallow cross here, number 19. The tackle is made by Dennard. Good effort again, back to the 1-yard line here. Fitzpatrick now 6 of 8 on this drive for 82 yards.
Extra offensive lineman now set up on a second and goal. McIntyre goes in motion. Jackson in the backfield. He gets the call. Jackson looking for pay dirt. And he didn't get it. Jackson is stuffed. And it's third and goal for Buffalo.
It certainly wasn't for lack of effort. Watch Jackson behind the block of McIntyre. That is really close. Hard to tell where the ball is. His knees were not on the ground, and his backside was laying on top of a teammate.
It's third and goal. 11th play of the drive. Give Jackson stutter step, touchdown Buffalo. Fred Jackson, his second of the day. And the Bills right back in it.
McIntyre with a great block on Dante Hightower, 54 right there. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a hold. McCourty, again, a converted safety, late coming up with the support there, and he was no contest for Jackson to go right by McCourty into the end zone standing up.
11-play drive. It covers 84 yards. Lindell, the extra point. They go for it on a 4th and 4 instead of kicking a 45-yard field goal, and it pays off for Buffalo. It's a 7-point game, late third. Fred Jackson, 12 carries, 44 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also has 3 catches for 28 yards. He capped off that long drive for Buffalo. 31-24, New England in front of the Bills. We've got 1:37 to play in the third. Lindell kicks it off. And Shane Vereen is going to take a knee for New England. Nobody knows the game like a quarterback. Break down all the NFL action on NFL Monday QB tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And Dan Fouts will be a part of the panel tomorrow.
You got to check it out, too, because if you want to know anything that's going on in the league from the guys that really know what's going on about the league, check that show.
Is there an offensive lineman show later on in the day or something?
It's on at 2 a.m.
Because they may disagree. Dan Deerdorf and company. On first down, Brady to throw, and a force out of bounds. Deion Branch able to get the step, and it covers 7 yards.
You know, it would be an interesting show if the owners had a show.
Oh, I'd watch that.
The Monday morning owner show.
Yeah, that would work. There, of course, is Robert Kraft, the chairman, CEO of the New England Patriots, and part of the halftime ceremony honoring Kevin Falk, the 13-year running back for the Pats. Brady, tight window. Wes Welker brought down by Nick Barnett, 12 yards through the air. This New England offense has 7 3-and-out drives this season.
Mike.
The next lowest total is Denver, who came into today with 12. Stephen Ridley fires through that running lane and takes it into Buffalo territory. He just gashed the Bills for 24.
Now, this is an answer, as the Patriots seem to do to every opponent after their opponent scores. They come right back, and this time with the running game.
And now Vereen is in there, 74 yards on the ground for Ridley and a touchdown. We're down to 22 seconds left in the third. Ridley is on the sideline. Vereen gets the call. And an extra push at the end of that play by the Bills. George Wilson, first man there. End of the third quarter. 31-24, New England in front. We'll come back to Foxborough after this message and a word from your local station, the NFL on CBS. Patriots leading the Bills 31-24. One problem for Buffalo has been fourth quarters this season. They've been outscored 90-28 in the fourth quarter. And the Patriots are driving a 2nd and 8. Just short of the 35 of Buffalo. Danny Woodhead is in there. He'll shift to the other side of Tom Brady. Low snap. Brady handles it. Steps up. Incomplete. Try to hit Woodhead. Brian Scott there defensively for the Bills.
Mario Williams has been held in check by Sebastian Vollmer. Williams, who picked up a sack last week against his former team, the Texans, only has 4.5 so far this season. They could use some pressure out of the $100 million man.
Donald Thomas has been in at right guard. Nick McDonald has been at left guard. Mankin's out with an ankle. Connolly a back injury. There's the body control of Lloyd trying to lunge, but he's going to come up short. And Stephon Gilmore making the tackle.
And decision time now for Bill Belichick as he sends out his field goal team.
So Stephen Gostkowski will come on. A 4th and 2 for New England. And this will be a long attempt for Gostkowski. His long this season is 53. That's his career long. Made a 43-yarder earlier. This will be from 48 yards away. Mesko, the punter, will hold it. Danny Aiken to snap it. 48-yard attempt. Gostkowski drills it. New England up by 10 with 14:10 to play in the fourth. Stephen Gostkowski gives the Patriots a little bit of breathing room. More fourth quarter action when we come back. Seven-play, 50-yard drive for the New England Patriots. Gostkowski, the 48-yard field goal, and the Pats now in front, 34-24.
I think the Bills have got to be happy with just giving up a field goal there. They've only forced the Patriots to punt one time this afternoon, and they've been playing pretty much penalty-free here in the second half.
Patriots have a one-game lead in the AFC East over Miami. Entering action today, Brad Smith, the returner for Buffalo. Flag thrown as Smith is dropped short of the 20-yard line by Nate Ebner on special teams. Bill Levy, another penalty.
Yeah, I should have never said anything about penalties. It's going to back up
blocking the back.
The Bills
number 20.
really deep in their own end of the field.
Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Get coverage of every NFL game with NFL Mobile. Watch live streaming of every touchdown from every game with NFL Network, as well as Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night games. Call ** NFL to download or go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Now the penalty yards just continue to rack up. The Buffalo team record is 159, set back in 1970 against the then Boston Patriots. 142 yards of penalties. 148 now against Buffalo. Fitzpatrick from the gun. Fitzpatrick throws. Incomplete. He was looking for Chandler. Pressure there from Ninkovich. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Ninkovich, who got a sack in the first half, did a great job putting pressure on the quarterback Fitzpatrick. As he's coming on the blitz, Fred Jackson is going to whiff. And that's tough to complete a pass with a defensive end right in your grill.
Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator, was the linebackers coach when Ninkovich came over to New England, so good relationship was formed, and now both have advanced in their respective careers. Ninkovich from a special teams player, and Patricia now defensive coordinator. Stutter step for Jackson. And Jackson will come up just short of the first down. Gerard Mayo holds him to a 9-yard gain, and there is Patricia, the bearded one.
I like it. Good look on the coach.
That's Grizzly. And he's got that pencil working as well.
He could use a trim, but, you know, the effort's there.
What do you go with? You go with scissors or?
Oh, no. Scissors, that's caveman style.
Caveman style? Yeah. Clippers, professional?
3rd and 1.
Maybe another time. 3rd and 1 for Buffalo. Jackson trying to push the pile. Bills feel like they've got it with forward progress, and it looks like they do. Judging on that spot, it's going to be enough, just enough for the first down. And even 13 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. New England 34, Buffalo 24. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew.
There's a mature beard right there, and Chan Gailey. It's a very interesting look.
Stay thirsty,
my friend.
Jackson, like he was shot out of a cannon. Jackson takes it upfield to the 30. Donald Jones sliding over for a key block. And Jackson having a terrific day. That's 13 yards, 68 on the ground, and 2 touchdowns.
And the Bills have rushed for 123 yards against a defense that had been allowing only 88 yards per game. This offensive line doing a good job of protecting Fitzpatrick. And now Fred Jackson loving it.
Another first down for Buffalo. They continue to take advantage of this New England defense to the tune of 340 total yards. Fitzpatrick, look at the time he's got. Complete. T.J. Graham, the rookie out of NC State with the grab. 11 yards for the Bills.
Well, when you run the ball well, play action passing becomes more effective because the defense has to look for the run first. After the play fake to Spiller, look how there's just nobody around Fitzpatrick. 5 yards is the closest. That's Wolford. And then the rifle shot out to the outside to Graham.
Bill Belichick, a lot of respect for this Buffalo offense. He talked about all the different packages, lots of screens and boots. Chad likes to keep it moving and mix in personnel groupings. Up the middle, C.J. Spiller brought down by Ninkovich. And just a 1-yard gain there for Spiller. Well, Chan Gailey's team at 3-5. And now if you look back to last season, they're 4-12 in their last 16 games. Went 1-8 the last 9 games of 2011. 0-5 this season when giving up 21 points or more. New England 34, Buffalo 24. We've got 10:42 to go in the fourth. 2nd and 9, Fitzpatrick flags are down. Fitzpatrick out of the pocket, throws it to the ground, incomplete. Multiple flags on the play.
Offside. Number 96 defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
And it's Jermaine Cunningham called on the offsides for New England.
Yeah, he tried to get a quick start as he did earlier in the game. Again, he's playing inside as a defensive tackle in this obvious passing situation. And that little bit of a jump there draws the flag. He's trying to get to Craig Urbich's shoulder there to get by him to the quarterback, but just too quick.
Just a 3rd penalty called against New England, costing the Patriots 35 yards. Spiller in the backfield. Chandler goes in motion for Buffalo. Bootleg. Fitzpatrick flagged down. He lost his helmet as he took a shot from Brandon Spikes.
Well, Spikes went up and hit the helmet off the head of Ryan Fitzpatrick. He didn't have to do that.
So Fitzpatrick had something to say.
Roughing the passer. Helmet-to-helmet contact. Number 55. 15-yard penalty. First down.
You just can't hit the quarterback in the head. And it's pretty obvious when the helmet comes flying off. Just extend your arms and push him to the ground. It had the same effect. But this gives the Bills a free 15 all the way inside the 40-yard line. And Fitzpatrick didn't like it at all.
Now Fitzpatrick had choice words there for Spikes, and then Chandler Jones came in. First down inside the 40 of New England. Fake the end around. Fitzpatrick sets up the screen. Spiller, a lot of running, stays on his feet. Spiller turns the corner. C.J. Spiller is finally ridden down inside the 15.
This is a wow play by Spiller. He had no business getting out for such a big gain. 25 yards on this play, but he should have been stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a screen pass. The Patriots are in position. Mayo misses there. Then a collision between Gregory and Spikes, and then all that speed by Spiller. What a play.
Poor tackling by the Patriots. It sets up Buffalo with a 1st and 10 at the Patriots' 13-yard line. They trail by 10. Time of possession has been all Buffalo. Jackson accelerating. Jackson lost the ball at the end of the play. Patriots have got it. Was the play whistle dead? Arrington on the recovery.
Well, this official is signaling down by contact. So this will be goal to go. First down for the Bills. But the other officials are saying, well, maybe not so sure.
The ruling on the field is the runner is down by contact.
Well, Bill Belichick has seen the replay on the big board, and here comes the flag. And a fine throw by Belichick all the way to the 10-yard line. Is his knee down before the ball comes out? Nope, Ball was loose, moving before his left knee hit the ground. Good challenge by Belichick. Patriots will have the ball.
Challenging the ruling on the field of down by contact.
This is going to be an absolute crusher for the Buffalo Bills. A game changer. Bill Levy will take a look at it.
Steve Gregory with the hit. Watch the knee of Jackson as McCourty comes in with the right hand. Where is the ball when the knee touches down? The ball is out before the knee hits. New England ball. Recovered by Arrington.
After reviewing the play, the runner lost possession of the ball before he was down. First down, New England. New England will not be charged with timeout.
What a turn of events. Buffalo was going to be on the 1-yard line, down by 10. Instead, McCourty will get credit for the forced fumble, and New England will take over.
And it's this beleaguered secondary with Gregory with the hit, McCourty with the strip, and Arrington with the recovery.
A 93-yard drive and fumble. Brady knocked down. Darius got his hands up.
That's how the game started. First play of the game. Marcel Darius got his hands on a Brady pass that should have been intercepted by Brian Scott. Heck of a play by Darius. That ball goes up in the air. That could have been a Buffalo touchdown after the deflection.
9:32 to go in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 10 from the 1. Shane Vereen in the backfield. Brady gets rid of it. And another drop by Welker. Second of the day for Wes Welker.
Obviously a catchable ball. Thrown by Brady right to the arms and hands of Welker. Just couldn't make the catch.
It was the Jackson fumble that gave New England the football. Jackson has been tremendous today for Buffalo in the backfield. And a huge play for the Bills defense here on 3rd and 10 for New England. Brady hits and throws. Incomplete. Deion Branch, the intended receiver. Kyle Williams put the heat on Tom Brady, and now the Patriots will punt. A 3-and-out, their only one of the day.
Yeah, and Kyle Williams with a good job coming up the middle. Mario Williams also in there, lining up at the opposite end of the line for the Bills. That's a quick 3-and-out. Great job by the Buffalo defense.
Only their 8th 3-and-out of the season. Zoltan Mesko to punt it. Leos McKelvin waiting for it at the 48. He'll move forward. It takes a bounce in the wrong direction for New England, and it is down in Patriots territory. So Buffalo is going to get the football back. Plenty of time left in a 10-point game. Saturday, Home Depot SEC on CBS rolls on. Ole Miss heads to Baton Rouge to take on LSU. It all begins live at 3 Eastern with college football today here on CBS.
That promo took you 19 seconds to read, and that's exactly the amount of time that the Patriots had the ball on offense their last possession.
I think mine was more like 12 seconds. Spiller. Shake and bake move by Spiller. He zigzags out of bounds.
And a draw flag, too.
So the penalty marker will work against the New England defense. Best starting field position of the day for Buffalo. You're looking at a 14-yard gain, a 15-yard penalty, 29 yards overall on first down.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 51 of the defense, unnecessary slamming a player down out of bounds. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, big mistake by Gerard Mayo here. Spiller about 5 yards out of bounds. And the hammer comes down from Mayo. And the flag comes out.
34-24. New England leading Buffalo. 9 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Spiller in the backfield. Buffalo once again inside the red zone. Handoff. Spiller cuts to the outside. Spiller breaks the tackle. Spiller walking the tightrope. And Spiller was out of bounds inside the 5. Steve Gregory couldn't bring him down. It's an 11-yard run. Spiller shaking his head. He thought he got in.
He's shaking his head at the official. Did he stay in bounds here? Nope, right out at about the 4-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 5, so they're going to take away about a yard on this play. But again, Spiller makes the first guy miss, makes the second guy miss, and then accelerates down the sidelines and almost gets into the end zone.
Basically, we were in a similar position just a minute ago. Buffalo was going to have the ball deep in New England territory, but the fumble by Jackson.
And now Buffalo's going to have to call timeout because they weren't ready after that play. Took too much time to get back to the huddle.
Bills have 2 timeouts remaining in a 10-point game here in Foxborough.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by E-Trade. Works beautifully. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
(34-24), Patriots leading the Bills. First and goal at the 5 of New England. Fitzpatrick throws, end zone, incomplete. Johnson in a matchup with Arrington, and Johnson ended up playing defense there as that pass was a little bit offline. Well, in this fourth quarter, Fred Jackson was trying to extend towards the goal line and fumbles the football just as he was going down. It was challenged by Belichick. He was ruled down on the play, but they took a look on instant replay review and turned the ball over. But the Buffalo Bills would come back down the field, trailing by 10 with 8:20 to go. And again, Jackson very crowded on the inside and a penalty marker thrown.
It's going to be offsides against the Patriots. Again, they jumped early after they shifted.
Offside. Number 50 defense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat second down.
You see Wilfork and Love shift, but Ninkovich moves too soon. Here he is right here after Wilfork has shifted. And then that's about 3 times today we've seen Cunningham, and this time it's Ninkovich jumping into the neutral zone.
That's now 6 penalties, 68 yards against New England. 14 for Buffalo, 148 yards. Second and goal for the Bills. Trying to cut into the New England lead. Fitzpatrick throws. Incomplete. Trying to hit Brad Smith. And the Pats had a chance at it. Brandon Spikes.
Here is Spikes right here. He's going to read the eyes of the quarterback and gets his right hand on this ball. I think if he lets the ball go through, it might have been picked off by the cornerback on that side.
Critical third and goal now for Buffalo. Fitzpatrick throws over the middle. It's caught. Donald Jones has got it. Touchdown, Bills.
Now Fitzpatrick told us he liked Jones working out of the slot. Jones 6 foot, 210 pounds or so. All-out blitz called by Bill Belichick, and the Patriots coming right at Fitzpatrick, but watch Jones come in tight in a little slant route as he gets just a brilliantly designed play. 2 receivers clearing out the interference for Jones to cut underneath, and Fitzpatrick right on target.
Dennard got caught in no man's land as Jones got the angle on him, curled it in, and Buffalo has sliced into the New England lead. 34-31 Patriots, 7:47 to go. These two teams play wild games against one another.
And Chan Gailey should get a lot of credit. He drew up that play. They practiced it. And obviously they execute this one perfectly. See the 2 receivers, both Dickerson and Chandler, ran interference legally for Jones to come underneath. A lot of times you'll see an illegal contact or a offensive pass interference on a pick play like that, but there was nobody to pick for those 2 guys. Jones came underneath unscathed.
There are more than 3 million jobs open in America today. How is that possible? 60 Minutes finds out where some of the very best of them are. Tonight, only CBS.
Yeah, penalties have had a way of evening out here in the second half, especially the personal foul penalties and a couple of offsides penalties against the Patriots. We had Spikes with a big hit on Fitzpatrick in the previous drive, and then Gerard Mayo with the late hit on Spiller on this last drive. And how about Spiller? I mean, if I'm playing in the same huddle with Spiller, I'm giving him the ball 20 times at least on the ground and throwing him maybe another 10. Screens, swing passes, whatever. Get him the ball. He's so electric.
Bills have never led here. They've been playing catch-up all game. They trail the Patriots by 3. The return man is Edelman. Edelman weaving his way through traffic, spilled out across the 30-yard line. Ron Brooks, the tackle on special teams. Frustration in the second half for New England on both sides of the ball. Tom Brady was very upset at Edelman, and then some of those mindless plays that you talked about, the penalties, personal foul calls against the New England defense. Bill Belichick upset with his defense, not only on the personal foul calls, but some of the yardage that they've given up in big plays. Brady, the Bills' penalties, and the Patriot point production against Buffalo. Some of the storylines here today. Stephen Ridley is slowed down, but picks up 5 running inside. And Darius looks like a left shoulder type of problem. That left arm was hanging there, but not sure that any medical staff is making their way over. He's going to try to work through it. Spencer Johnson steps in for him. Second down and 5 on a toss for Ridley. Yeah, short end of the field. There's nothing there. Buffalo able to bunch up that side and hold him to no gain on the play.
Rob Gronkowski has 3 catches today for the Patriots. 43 coming into today's game. Good for 1 touchdown in the first half, but has not been targeted all that often.
And no Aaron Hernandez once again because of the ankle injury. A pivotal 3rd and 5 right now for New England in a 3-point game. Brady looks, guns it over the middle. It's complete. Brandon Lloyd out near midfield. The protection held up for Tom Brady, and he made the Bills pay.
Well, he looked at about 8 receivers, and he only has 5 out on the field. Looking way to his right, came all the way back over the middle. The experience of Lloyd knowing to just to settle down in the middle of that zone in front of Bird, and that is a huge play for the Patriots.
So a new set of downs for New England to work with. Chance to use up more clock as well. We come up on 6 minutes to go in the 4th. Lloyd with his 4th catch of the day. Ridley tried to bust it to the outside, but he was taken down by Mario Williams. That's a 2-yard gain for Ridley. Could have been a whole lot more if Williams didn't get him down low.
And what we're seeing here in the second half is moving Mario Williams to the right defensive end, switching spots with Kyle Moore. Williams got good pressure on Brady last possession. That is a solid tackle that time.
No Mark Anderson. He is out with a knee injury. No Chris Kelsey, out with a neck injury. Up the middle, Ridley emerges. And he's got a first down to the 40-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup. Coming up, Subway postgame show. JB and the rest of the gang. Latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show.
Ridley has been so consistent in this ball game. 19 carries for 90 yards and a touchdown, and a big first down that time.
Had 106 yards rushing in the first game against Buffalo. Little trickery. Brady steps, avoids, throws, high throw! Incomplete. Gronkowski, the intended receiver.
Now Brady showing strength in the pocket that time, as it looked like after the play fake he might be in real trouble, but he steps up and throws just a little bit too high and behind Gronkowski. Fortunate for the Patriots that it was not picked off by McKelvin.
2nd and 10 now from the 40. Fake the handoff. Get Welker out in space, and he's coming to this side. Welker! Wes Welker, the stutter step. What an effort by Welker to circle around for 23. Ridley with a key block.
And that's supposed to be a slip screen, which I know you know a lot about, out to the right side. This is a reverse on the slip screen. And this is Welker looking like a punt returner here, finding his wall and then getting down the sidelines. That you just don't draw it up that way, Coach.
He was limping, though, at the end of the play, makes his way to the New England sideline. And now New England is in the Buffalo red zone. On a give, nothing there for Ridley. Brian Scott with the stop for Buffalo. NFL Today update, JB Dan Marino in New York.
Dan, Carolina striking. Oh, yeah, Cam Newton, he drops back looking for Greg Olsen, 5-yard touchdown. Those two hooked up twice on the day. Denver, 29-14. I don't think I've said the bird and the beer today.
Well, we appreciate it, JB. Just the thought. Even if you thought about it once, that would have been enough for us.
I'd still like it to be the bird and the beard.
No, it doesn't have the same ring to it.
The beard and whatever.
2nd and 10. Just take what he gives us. Out of the gun. Brady. Hauled in by Lloyd. 5-yard gain. So it'll be 3rd and 5 now for the Pats. We're down to 3:40 remaining in the 4th. New England in the red zone 4 times. They've got 4 touchdowns.
They're also 6 out of 10 converting 3rd downs this afternoon.
Trying to make this a 2-possession game with time winding down in this 4th quarter. This drive has eaten up a lot of clock, over 4 minutes for New England. Ridley in the backfield. Handoff, Ridley, a blast up the middle. Ridley keeps on going. Brought down at the 2.
Well, when you run the ball right up the middle, you got to have great blocking from your center, and that's what they get this time.
And New England with a quick snap. Bills were ready for it. Kyle Williams brings down Ridley. He was over 100 yards. He just lost 2 yards. So now Ridley's at 98 on the day.
That's really heads up by Kyle Williams and this Buffalo defense, recognizing that the Patriots like to go quickly with their no-huddle offense, especially after a big game.
Back it up to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal for New England. 2:25 to go in the 4th. Flags come down.
False start. Number 22 offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Now Ridley over anxious here, and the real penalty here against the Patriots is the clock is stopped. Here's Ridley in the I formation. That lean forward there is illegal motion. That's their 5th penalty here in the 4th quarter alone.
7 of them in total for the Patriots. 2:21 mark of the 4th. Patriots 34, Bills 31. 2nd and goal. Brady to throw. Brady throws incomplete. Looking for Branch, a low pass. And it stops the clock with 2:15 to play. 3rd and goal for New England.
And the clock stops again. Mario Williams almost gets to Brady. See the blue glove on the right side of the screen? That's the blue glove of Mario Williams. Nate Solder doing a great job of keeping him away from his quarterback.
Buffalo trying to hold New England to 3 points. 3rd and goal for the Patriots. From the gun. Brady steps up. Brady avoids trouble. Throws and bounces it in the direction of Danny Woodhead. Incomplete.
It wouldn't have counted. Woodhead had gone out of bounds. The official threw his hat marking that. So if he catches this ball, would not have been a touchdown if Brady puts the ball on target.
And another big key that it all happened with over 2 minutes to play. So that means another stoppage for Buffalo when they get the ball back, in addition to the 2 timeouts.
Buffalo had to use a timeout on offense last time they had the ball.
Steven Gostkowski out there for the short field goal, 27-yard attempt. Patriots now lead it by 6. 2:06 remaining, but they have left the door open for the Buffalo Bills. Don't forget, coming up right here on CBS, Subway postgame show, JB, Dan, Shannon, Coach Cower, and Boomer Esiason. All the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Well, it's been 11 straight losses for the Buffalo Bills here in Foxborough. We'll take you back. November of 2000, Doug Flutie, Jay Remersma, 9-yard touchdown. J.R. Redmond tied the game in the fourth. Patriots took the lead. Steve Christie barely made the 48-yard field goal to send it to overtime. And then in OT, Christie knocks through a 32-yarder to win it, 13-10. Patriots 37, Buffalo 31. We've got 2:06 to go in this fourth quarter. Tom Brady, who has never lost at home to Buffalo, 10-0 in his career against the Bills, has 26 touchdowns now in his 11th home game against Buffalo and only 4 picks. Gostowski kicks it off. And it's coming back to the 20-yard line. So that means the Bills have the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts to work with, and they have to go 80 yards against this Patriots defense. Game summary: Tom Brady, 41st consecutive game with a touchdown pass. He's got a pair of them today. The Buffalo Bills, so many penalties. They are on the verge of breaking their franchise record for most penalty yards in a game. The Patriots now 89 points in 2 games against Buffalo this season. But the Bills have an opportunity here, and this offense has produced 416 yards this afternoon.
Ryan Fitzpatrick having a fabulous afternoon, 22 of 31 for 273.
So here we go, 1st and 10 for Buffalo. Down by 6. Fitzpatrick incomplete. Scott Chandler, the intended receiver, or at least in the area, and that stops the clock with 2:01 to play.
And we'll see how Bill Belichick wants to work his defense throughout this drive. Just rushed 3 that time at Fitzpatrick. Dropped 8 in coverage, a zone coverage. There was no place for Fitzpatrick to go with this ball.
New England has never trailed today. 2nd and 10 for Buffalo. Chandler goes in motion. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Forced out of the pocket. Fitzpatrick looking to run. Fitzpatrick dumps out of bounds. Just did not have an angle to turn the corner. And we hit the 2-minute warning as Chandler Jones and Marquise Cole gave chase to Fitzpatrick. 3rd down coming up. 1:56 to play. It's been 12 years since the Patriots have lost to the Bills here at Foxborough. They're trying to hold on. 37-31 lead over Buffalo. Bills have 2 timeouts remaining. They face a 3rd and 9 at the 21-yard line. 1:56 to play. Fitzpatrick lets it fly. On the money. Stevie Johnson, 1st down across the 40-yard line, and he's out of bounds with 1:50 to go. 21-yard hookup for Buffalo.
Now there's no pressure on Fitzpatrick. He could really lean into this pass. He beats Dennard to the outside, does Stevie Johnson, and you can just feel the momentum on the side of the Buffalo Bills right now. Got a hot quarterback and a good offensive line giving him time.
This has been a confident group on offense against this New England defense. 438 total yards. Fitzpatrick in the pocket. Fitzpatrick in stride. Donald Jones into New England territory. And he is down inside the 45. That's 14 yards on the pass play. Fitzpatrick now has 308 yards through the air.
I don't think the Patriots can afford to just rush 3 men at Fitzpatrick as they've done the last 2 plays.
Bills have been in rally mode all day. They have never led. Fitzpatrick pulls the trigger. Fitzpatrick's pass is dropped by Jones.
That is saying incomplete.
Donald Jones looked like he had secured it, but could not hold on throughout the play.
That's exactly right, Ian. But is this a catch? One of the officials said no. He's down by contact there, but did not hang on to the ball, as you said.
Charge timeout for the injury.
So this is going to cost the Bills a timeout because of the injury to Donald Jones. Marquise Cole, the coverage for New England. The pass was there. Jones lost it at the last moment, and we know the rule. You've got to secure it, control it, even as you go to the ground.
You wonder if this is some type of shoulder injury or collarbone injury. Marquise Cole did a great job, though, of pounding the receiver to the ground and forcing that ball out of the hands of Donald Jones.
Buffalo thin at wide receiver after the injury to David Nelson earlier in the season. Torn ligament, right knee, placed on injured reserve. Jones is going to head over to the Buffalo sideline with 1:15 to go.
Yeah, you need him back, too, if he can go at all. 6 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Last possession for the Bills. But Fitzpatrick, that was a laser shot on the deep corner route. Jones has gotten behind Cole, but Cole recovered enough to cause the incompletion.
2nd and 10 for Buffalo. Line of scrimmage is the 44-yard line of the Patriots. Jackson in the backfield. Shotgun for Fitzpatrick. Patriots holding on to a 6-point lead. Dump off. Jackson with a catch. Jackson with a cut. Jackson veering to the outside, and Jackson loses the ball. Ball popped free. Jackson already fumbled it once, and it's a pile-up.
Last time he fumbled on the 1-yard line. This one he's about a yard away from picking up the first down, and Bills have recovered.
Buffalo retains it.
Trying to pick up the first down. Spikes comes in and pops that ball out. Looked like the Patriots had the first shot at it and the second shot. And at that picture right there, looks like a Patriot had it. But obviously it was wrestled away from him. Now the question is, Fred Jackson okay, as he's being attended to by the trainers?
And that will cost Buffalo its final timeout because of the injury. Fred Jackson shaken up on the play.
That was a big hit by Brandon Spikes. I don't know who got that recovery, but somebody who's real strong at the bottom of that pile took it away from the Patriots. There's the shot by Spikes, and the ball's out. Mayo had a real good shot at it.
Jones had a chance at it.
Yeah, he did.
That ball sat there for a while. New England recovers, game over.
I think it was one of the big offensive linemen that got in here. Is it the... No, it's not Cordy Glenn.
Yeah,
it's
Wood.
Eric Wood.
You're right.
Number 70, wrestling that ball out of the grasp of Chandler Jones.
Now Brady knows it's the end of the game if New England pounces on the football. Jackson is up. Concern there from his fellow running back C.J. Spiller, who came over. 2 injuries have cost the Buffalo Bills their final 2 timeouts. First, Donald Jones, the wide receiver, and then Fred Jackson, who is one tough guy but took a major hit.
But you just got to love the effort that Jackson has put forth on both times he fumbled.
So now Spiller is in there. Important to this game, New England 5-3. Miami has dropped to 4-5. A win for Buffalo here would move them to within 1 game of the Patriots in the standings.
And the Jets are in Seattle later today.
3rd and 3 for the Bills. 59 seconds to play. Fitzpatrick throws, and he's got Chandler spinning in for the first down inside the 30.
Yeah, this is, you come up to the line of scrimmage and either clock this ball, but it looks like Fitzpatrick calling plays at the line of scrimmage is going to keep this thing going as the clock keeps rolling.
We're down to 40 seconds left. Fitzpatrick throws over the middle. Spiller with a catch and run. Spiller inside the 15, and he's out of bounds with 33 seconds to go.
This is just smart play by Fitzpatrick. Again, he's going to see Spiller hooked up on a linebacker here. Actually, it's Ninkovich as a defensive end, no contest, and smart by Spiller to step out of bounds after 14 yards.
33 seconds left. 37-31 New England. Buffalo at the Patriots' 15-yard line. From the gun. Fitzpatrick fires. End zone lunging attempt. Chandler can't haul it in. 28 seconds to play now in the fourth.
Well, they're just sometimes you take a chance throwing the ball into the end zone as a quarterback, and that's what Fitzpatrick does right here. And again, we've seen a couple of balls today just go off the fingertips of Bills receivers. Great effort by Chandler, just couldn't get it close enough to his body to haul it in.
These two teams play entertaining games. You go back to last year, the meeting earlier this year. 28 seconds left. Buffalo down by 6. On second down, Fitzpatrick end zone, intercepted. It's over. Devin McCourty. The Patriots hold on.
Third interception of the season for McCourty, and none bigger than this one, as this ends the ball game for the Patriots. Fitzpatrick looking to the left side of the field and then coming back to the right, expecting T.J. Graham to come underneath McCourty. Never saw McCourty. Second red zone turnover here in the second half. The Jackson fumble at the 1-yard line, and now the interception thrown by Fitzpatrick.
We asked Chan Gailey, what's your message to the team against New England? And he said one word, finish. They couldn't do it. They couldn't finish. The Patriots hold on and hold off the Buffalo rally. New England is 6-3. The Bills fall to 3-6, and 12 consecutive losses now in Foxborough for Buffalo. 37-31 the final. McCourty the interception to end it for the Patriots. Coming up next, it's the Subway postgame show here on CBS. For Dan Fouts, our entire CBS crew, this is Ian Eagle so long from Foxborough, Massachusetts. JB in the game coming up when we come back. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47.